Hello, this is Gio. Hey, look what I have here. I have a dimmer switch to a set of overhead lights, and these lights are actually for a dining room, and there's five actually LED lights in them. And if you're used to incandescents, you'll notice that dimmable LEDs, they do work, but they tend to turn on and off slightly at different times. And when you're turning them on, they tend to take a little more voltage to get them started. And as you dim them down, they're a little bit more consistent. But so some people don't like dimmable LEDs, but that's what's in this light set. But that's not what we're concerned with today. What we're concerned with is how this dimmer switch works. So as you can see, the dimmer does generally turn on and off the lights in a dimmable fashion. But this switch also has the ability just to turn lights off. So if you just push it in, it'll turn the lights off. And when you push it in again, there you go. That's the issue. It's not that consistent. The switch part of the lights for this knob isn't that consistent. Sometimes you have to hit it pretty hard for it to work, and sometimes you have to hit it several times for it to work. So there's something wrong with this switch, and we're gonna fix that today. Okay, so before you go out and buy a new dimmer switch and have either yourself or an electrician replace it, there's one simple thing you could do that might actually solve the problem. And if you have a dimmer switch with this little dial knob, you could actually just pull carefully this knob out, and the knob will just come out. It's just pressure in there with pressure. And here's the dial for the switch. And as you can see, this is the switch. But using my finger here, I can already tell it doesn't really move in and out all that well. And so this switch does get gunked up over time, especially let's say if it's in a kitchen, you can get a lot of oil and grease in the switch. And there are ways to clean out and get the switch switching better. Okay, so before working on your light switch, you do want to turn off the breaker in your breaker box to the light. Unfortunately, that particular overhead light is connected to the main electrical switch here. And so even in the basement here, you will see the lights turn off when I hit this switch. So there you go. So fortunately it is daylight, so there is some light coming in from the window, but and so you can see a little bit. But first thing you want to do is get this faceplate off, and you can do that just with a flathead screwdriver. And there's just 2 screws here, and so there's no power behind this plate. So sometimes these are painted shut, and you might have to use a blade to get to kind of release this plate. This one's kind of painted in, but hopefully I can get this without damaging the paint too much. And there you have. And this is the exterior of a typical dimmer switch. So now for the simple fix. What you want to do is go out and purchase yourself some electrical contact cleaner. Now this does say WD-40, but this is not the lubricant that you're used to. This is contact cleaner, and it does come in a number of brands. So you don't have to get the WD-40 brand. But what electrical contact cleaner does, it cleans contacts, and it can actually clean switches, especially if you have a lot of gunk and grime in there. It is safe for electronics, so you won't, it's not like you're sticking in water in there. It's safe, it dries fast, and you can use the electronics after you use the cleaner. And so of course with the power off, I want to basically use the little nozzle here, and I just want to kind of shoot inside the exposed switch element right here. So I'm just going to take this and kind of just shoot a little bit inside here. Again, it dries nicely. And then I'm just gonna kind of work the switch a little bit. In and out. Maybe use a little extra. And then kind of spin it around. Just kind of work it so that the cleaner can kind of do its job and clean this contact. And already I can feel it, that it's going in and out much easier. And then after you worked it a bit, just let it dry. Again, it's safe, even if there's a little moisture in there, but you don't want it saturated. So just give it a few minutes to dry up, and then you can go ahead and test out your light. Okay, so I have turned back on the power from the breaker box, and so I'm just gonna test this thing out. So it is on the off position, and I'm gonna just turn it. Okay, there's no lights right now, so I assume it's on the switch is off. So let's go ahead and turn the switch on nicely, and it seemed to turn on nice. Off, and it seems to be moving a lot better, and every single time it turns on and off. So let's go ahead and put the cap back on and see if it's still working. Okay, so here's the cap again. This one just works on pressure. It doesn't really matter which direction. Maybe your cap might go in a certain way, so just take a look at the shape and see how the cap's supposed to go on. And there you go, it went off. And just with simple pressure, I'm not having any issue turning on and off that light. So this switch is working much better. Well, there you go. So before you buy a new dimmer switch, go ahead and try some contact cleaner. It might save you a lot of time and money. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button at the bottom of the screen, and even consider subscribing to my channel. I have many more videos to come. Bye-bye.